Hey guys, it's Brindley Tucker and the infamous, famous, world-renowned Monica Reynolds for Leverage Live. What's going on, Monica?
You were talking to me earlier and you brought up a great subject. The great Brindley Tucker had a great thought. She said, let's talk about lead follow-up because there's so much out there that we kind of need to remind the agents that we work with. And I said, well, let's boil it down. And then after I said, let's boil it down to recruiting. And then I decided to go back the other way now, Brindley. So I know
this happens a lot in our relationship.
So we're going to switch back to general lead follow-up.
Yeah.
Because I think it applies to everything. So the first thought I had was that most people will overthink lead follow-up and say, I don't want to be too aggressive. And yet that's not what it is it, Brindley?
No, it's not. And when we talk about lead follow-up, we're talking about this from all fronts, right? So we're talking about it from the agent lead generation standpoint. When we talk about operations and your leverage, right? Like, are you following up with your referrals? The names and numbers and emails that you hand over to your sales team, are you following up? And then profit share, right? Like, Monica, one of the most genius things you told me when we were in Africa, you simplified it. You were talking about Athena, and you said all Athena does is ask the individual. It could be in Africa, which it was, right? That's how she opened the whole entire country of South Africa. All you have to ask is, are you interested in a career in real estate? Take that name and number, give it to the team leader, and then just hammer them with follow-up.
Yeah, the only script you guys need to know is, by the way, thank you for working with our team on a transaction or submitting an offer, whatever it happens to be, or calling on a listing. Say, Keller Williams is really going to the next level, and I'd love for you to hear about that. We have $1 billion being spent on technology. Would you just spend 5 minutes talking to our team leader about that? And you pass the lead on, it goes.
Yeah.
Follow up then to make sure that the team leader got them. Should you follow up with that prospective person? And again, there's two opportunities. Are they someone for your team to grow, or are they someone that can go into Keller Williams into your downline?
So flip that script. Flip that script as an ops person or an assistant asking for a referral.
Yeah, and here's the thing too, in follow-up. There's never anything such as too aggressive. So take that verb out of there. And what you want to say is, part of my customer service, I wanted to follow up with you. Or if you've called them 3 times, text them 3 times, there's no response, you finally get them, or they call you back, you say, oh, thanks for calling me back. I'm so excited. I know I was emailing you, texting you. Gosh, I have a great question to ask you. So there's no such thing as too aggressive when you use the word customer service.
Yeah.
And yet, when you don't follow up, you show you don't care, or they're not a top priority.
Not important.
Yeah.
No. And I think that's a really important key too, is, flip the script with a referral. It's the same thing, right? Our team is invested in a company that's spending $1 billion on technology that is going to change the way people buy, sell, and invest real estate. Would you like to hear a little bit more about that? And then hand them to an agent, right? And then as the ops person, if you've given that referral, following up with your sales team to make sure they're following up.
Yeah, I think when we look at all of this, it's just about opportunities. And I'm a big proponent, as Brindley is, when we're a team on this, is that being a great executive assistant is not a cul-de-sac in job. Yeah. There are so many opportunities for you in building that downline and talking to your agent about that. You guys are the keeper of, coaches of clients calling in. I switch my mode here, of clients calling in and having those opportunities. And don't judge someone, because I said to someone one time, they said, well, if they're just lousy on the transactions, and I was coaching a big mega team, and the director of operations said, well, if they're lousy on the transaction, we don't want them. And I said, I'll tell you what, Monica Reynolds was the lousiest person you could ever see on a transaction. And I could do 300 plus deals a year, and I was lousy. Because that's not my strength. I mean, dot the T's, cross the I's, and do whatever. Help me out here. I go sell stuff.
Yeah.
So don't judge that. Let the team leader judge if they're going to be a good fit or not. Sometimes there's just that one little thing. When you give a hand up to someone, maybe Keller Williams is what changes their whole life.
Yeah, our culture.
Yeah.
We know, you know, sometimes culture and leadership, when there's a change in leadership or culture, things shift, people change. And I think too, Monica, to your point, it's it, stress brings out the worst in people, right? So if you had a massively stressful transaction, you're probably not going to see that person in the best light. And where's the grace to see if that's really who they are, or if they were just having a really bad day and a stressful day? Because we all deserve a little grace every once in a while.
So don't judge that. The other key, there's a couple of key points. One is there's no such thing as too aggressive. And number two, it has to be in your schedule. If you don't feel like calling someone is exactly when the universe is telling you to call them, you know, and just say, hey, I just wanted to follow up. And, you know, maybe texting is the right way to do it for some agents, but a call and a text, you're going to get a response at some point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one thing, more thing on follow up to circle it up is follow up doesn't just apply to leads, right? How many times, and especially right now while it's busy, are we starting projects or we're starting initiatives or we're saying we're going to implement this, and then we get really excited and we do it for 60 or 90 days and then it stops. There's no follow up to continue the process and make sure that we're continuing the process. So I think follow up applies to so many areas of our business that we've got to keep awareness around what's our follow up.
They need a Brindley in their life.
Yeah, they need a Monica in their life.
Oh no, you're on me. What about this? What about that?
I am actually on her a lot about, what about this? Let's move forward. But that's just my impatience. That's not a follow up.
But no, that's a good team that can do that. And so it's about the accountability. It's about what is the end goal? Like I said to Brindley today, what's the finish line here? Let's just go to the finish line. What are the steps to get to the finish line? And everybody wants to get to the finish line.
Yeah.
So I think we've talked enough about that. Remember, you can never be too aggressive. Use the word customer service.
Yeah.
Want to talk to them about an opportunity. I'm sorry if I've left you a lot of messages. I've got an exciting opportunity for you.
Yeah, be a fanatic about follow up in the business. As an admin, own the follow up.
Yeah, and apologize if you think that you're too aggressive. I would never apologize. I'd say, oh my gosh, we finally connected. I'm so excited to talk to you. I'm not going to apologize because I have an opportunity to change their life. They should thank me for following up, right?
I thank her every day, guys, because she doesn't apologize. I'm just kidding.
So Renee and I were talking, and you know what we want to do, and it's really taken a hold, because I know Gary's talking about it too, is elevating the position of an executive assistant, an operations manager, a director of operations, a TC, the listing manager, because you guys are the secret weapon. Nothing happens without you. So Renee and I were talking about, you know, there should be a national certification. So Brindley, take it away from there.
Yeah, so Monica and I get asked this a lot, especially with people that want to enter the industry or that want to up their game or up their level in the industry is there a certification? Is there something that I could put on my resume or on my email that would validate and give validity to my position? And so what Monica and I are thinking is putting together a series of workshops, courses. We're still kind of labbing this to give you a certification. Like it would give you an accreditation as a real estate operations professional or a real estate assistant. So what we want to do is we want to bring it to you. You know, Gary said, I mean, Monica, I don't want to speak. I wasn't in the room. I think that you may have been, but recently Gary said that the staff is the culture and the pulse of our businesses, of our organization.
Yeah, he basically said in a nutshell, which was an interesting concept, is that like you have a college football team and it rotates out of there every 4 years. You get every year there's somebody new on the team.
Yeah.
Yet your foundational people, the admin, are your culture, and that's what sets for recruiting, that sets for retention, that sets for all of it. And yet, no matter what you do with some of these buyer agents or other agents on your team, egos get in the way, challenges they think they can do it on their own, whatever, and they leave. So that's a revolving door. But what should not be a revolving door is the admin. So we want to recognize what the contribution you make toward your education.
Yeah.
It looks good on your resume, plus it gives you credibility that you've taken these courses. So we're kind of opening it up, and want you guys to give us some feedback. And agents, if you're listening to this, what kind of accreditation would you like to see for an assistant?
And everything's open.
Yeah.
Yeah. So content, topics, books, cost. How much would you be willing to pay for the classes?
Programs they've taken.
Yeah.
And we're going to put together an accreditation, and Brindley and I are going to spearhead this. And not to mention the old days, but there was an organization called most people were born, National Organization of Real Estate Assistants. We may revive that because I was one of the spearheads of that. And I looked around the internet, I couldn't find anything, but we're going to come up with a great title, something with a graduate institute, like a GRI kind of thing.
Yeah.
What we're doing is just validating the fact that you are an education-based person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that you have the skills, knowledge, and track record to succeed at a high level.
Yeah. And I think, in your signature and your email, having some sort of designation like that could be very powerful for when you're thinking and talking to clients. What do you think?
Yeah. I think it validates the position. I think it brings a level of validity and professionalism to the position, and it will also help with that assistant agent admin relationship, in giving them that when you talk to me, you and I always call it the secretary syndrome, right? I'm not just the secretary. I'm actually a partner in the business, and I'm actually better at this part than the agent is, right?
Yeah. And we were talking about the GRI, Graduate Real Estate Institute. For some reason, I thought that was a really big deal. And
yeah,
occasionally asked me about that. And I think that, we got away from some designations, and now it's kind of like you always come back and visit things. Well, why not have these designations?
Why not?
This and this and this,
Yeah. I mean, we had the internet marketing, designation. We have the luxury designation. You have the GR. I mean, there's no reason that we can't do the same in our community.
Yeah. And so we want your feedback and thoughts on that. We're working on it, and we're working on it pretty hard. We're going to come up with some things the next week, and we'll share them with you. And I really want you guys to reach out to Brindley and I and tell us your thoughts on that. I think that would be really important, because this
absolutely.
Goes part of your resume, and this is who you are, and this is your education based. And nobody knows that when you call them that you're education based, that you work on growing and becoming a great TC or director of operations.
Yeah. And this is your chance to write it, come up with the content. We're going to lab it with you guys. We're going to throw it out, the content. So those of you that do comment on this on this live post, we're going to include you in the lab. For those of you that email us, we'll include you in the lab so that you're the first to see the content. You can reach Monica at monicareynolds.com, Monica@monicareynolds.com, and you can reach me at Brindley@brindleytucker.com, Brindley@brindleytucker.com. So send us your feedback so that we can gather it, use it, because we're going to write this for you guys, right, Monica?
Yeah, and so from Brindley and I, we talk about this a lot. We want to elevate this to a very prestigious position in real estate. And I and Brindley both feel that you're the secret weapon, that you do so much for the client. Talk about it all the time. And so these agents couldn't be these agents without what you guys do behind the scenes. So we want to elevate this and make this a prestigious position, especially when you've done the education-based things and you've attended these seminars. So we're really digging deep to see what you guys think, because this is a collaboration. We know we're missing something. So tell us what we're missing.
Yeah. Love it. Awesome. Well, we love you guys. Thank you so much. Remember, become fanatics at follow-up, following up with leads, following up with recruits, following up on deadlines, following up on projects, following up. Everything is in the follow-up, right, Monica?
No, never too aggressive, and it has to be in your schedule. See ya.
Amen. Bye, guys. Have a great night.
Bye.